everybody will collect. Everybody in Nigeria will be divided under this President Tinubu, whether you like it or not. Because a united Nigeria is a threat to Tinubu for his re-election come 2027. In the past 2 weeks, you will remember that the Yorubas began to fight each other for one silly thing, religion. The Yoruba Christians started fighting the Yoruba Muslims. The Yoruba traditionalists, they started fighting the Yoruba Muslims that we do not want Sharia. Now, the strategic thing Tinubu did at the end of the day was coming to Lagos, attending that Lekki Central Mosque, which is an approval and a mark that yes, I am in support of this Imam. An Imam who printed a banner that wrote boldly on it that Jesus Christ is not God. You think Tinubu doesn't know? Now the Hausa-Fulanis are the next target. And they will be divided. In the past, the Hausa-Fulanis were never won. But when the Fulanis started their conquest, they married almost all the Hausa beautiful ladies. And as they were giving birth, the Fulani said, we are one. Let us have that ethnic group called Hausa-Fulani. The Fulanis, strategically, stealthily, erase all the cultural heritage of the Hausas. They gave them religion. They gave them their kings because, of course, they killed all the Hausa kings. Then the Fulani started ruling over them. And now, as of today, all the core northern Nigeria is being ruled by Fulani's kings, emirs. Not one single state in the northern Nigeria has a governor from the Hausa tribe. They are Fulanis. But you know what Fulani successfully did? They deceived the Hausas by saying that we are one, let us call ourselves Hausa-Fulanis, a land that initially belonged to the who? To the Hausas. The same thing played out in Ilorin. In Ilorin, they can say that they cannot have something called Yoruba Fulani, right? But what they did was an open conquest. They killed Afonja, took away Afonja's glory and palace and and his throne. They renamed it, and then now it is an emir. But the Fulanis have still not been able to have that total conquest over the Ilorin people, because some parts of Ilorin are resisting them, most especially the southern Ilorin, because those ones still see themselves as basic Yoruba people. They practice their traditional culture, they practice Christianity, and they have a lot of affiliation with all other southwestern states. And they retain their name. They retain their Yoruba name. Today, the man who plans to ensure that he rules everybody by divide and conquer is on the seat of power. The biggest mistake the Hausa-Fulani made was to trust this man. They never knew how he dealt with Lagosians. A man who can capture Lagos for nothing less than 20 to 25 years, and even till now, still has the sole dictatorial powers. Is a man who can single-handedly say that we do not want this man, let us elect this man, and everybody will follow him. You know why? It is not because he's that influential, because he's not God. He simply understands the powers, the laws of powers, the laws of domination, which is first thing first, never reveal your strength, and secondly, divide your enemies. Your enemy, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. So he's always looking for the discord, the conflict between those people who call themselves united, and along the line, try and cut someone off when that person becomes his, should I say, frenemies, and of course from there he start using them. Today, Southern Kaduna is going to get a federal university. And of course, the northerners, the northern Kadunas who have been dominating Kaduna since inception, and these are predominantly the Hausa-Fulanis, as it were, do not allow the southern Kadunas, who are in their large majority Christians, gain admission into that university. They do not allow those southern Kadunas. There is always an idea that they are Christians. It is when it is time for those southern Kadunas to gain admission, they'll be telling them that they are not Kano, they are not Hausas, they are not Arewas, that they belong to the North Central. There is so much marginalization for the southern Kadunas. In fact, that marginalization become obvious under the past governor of Kaduna. You know, when he even left them alone to face their wars, this was a man who never took the security of Southern Kaduna seriously. You know, the Southern Kadunas on a daily basis kept having issues of kidnap, kept having issues of bandit attacks. They couldn't go to their farms. They couldn't, you know, Southern Kadunas are the biggest farmers of corn and ginger in Nigeria. But under the leadership of the past governor, Arewa, they had massive attack on a daily basis. The Nigerian Army barracks, which is also situated in some part of Southern Kaduna, kept on having attacks upon attacks upon attacks upon attacks. This is another strategy by Tinubu, the divide and rule conqueror. That's what I'll call him. He is a conqueror who rules by divide and rule. He said he has approved Federal University of Southern Kaduna. He has seen that this unity is becoming too much. Before I go back to that issue of Southern Kaduna, at the end of this show, there will be a poll. I will set a poll so that we can vote the best governors in Nigeria and then the most useless governor in Nigeria. Okay? Now, Tinubu has taken upon himself that any voice of dissent, when you guys think you can begin to talk me down as a region, I will deal with you. Today, it is the turn of the Northerners. He has successfully dealt with the Yorubas. Don't deal. He has gone into the Southeast, and the Southeast too are what? They have been captured. You can see now, have you not heard that IPOBs have lost their voice? Are you not aware? Are you not aware that so many people are saying that Ngozi Arabueze is working for northern politicians? Have you not seen that Ngozi Arabueze, who became the interim prime minister of the what? Biafran Republic government in exile, was exposed by some internal cabinet members. They said that she is the one selling out information of the Biafran government, that she has a bank, a Muslim bank for that matter, which is outrightly against the Biafran tenet. A bank that Simon Ekpa never used, but just in less than 2 weeks that Simon Ekpa was incarcerated, she came out, changed it to that Taj Bank, TAG Bank. And along the line, people started exposing her. Confusion setting. Everybody breaks up. There is no unity of purpose anymore. Everybody is doing this. Now they have two prime ministers. They have been divided. And you are not seeing it that these are the handiworks of Tinubu. A man who understands that where there is no unity, it can never be conquered. A man who understands that where people agree on a common purpose remains the greatest threat for him. A man who understands that unity is a crime in his dictionary. The Southeast today do not have one voice anymore. If you backdate under Buhari, you can see how eventful, how forceful. Nobody is even talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When are we going to have money Nnamdi Kanu? Go and check the records. As of last year, December, everybody was clamoring for Nnamdi Kanu. As of 2 years ago, you can see the force. People were shouting, IPOB this, IPOB that, IPOB this, IPOB that. He has successfully divided that Biafra struggle. And then to cap it up, you know what he did? You all know what he did. He took Bianca, the wife of the Biafra initiator. He took his wife, Bianca Ojukwu. He made her one of his ministers. He gave her a juicy post. He made Benjamin Kalu a deputy speaker. Benjamin Kanu has now become the voice of divide in Southeast. He created something that has never been created before for the Southeasterners to fight against any performing Southeast governor that might want to have a loud voice like Alex Oti. Southeast Developmental Council. He gave one of his loyalists, a performing loyalist, by the way. He gave him the director general. You go and manage that thing. I'll be pumping money. They'll be giving that council, development council, nothing less than 100 to 150 billion per annum. You go and be doing the roads, and I'll be showing up for every of your commissioning. That is a man who we have as our president. And the Fulanis think they will go scot-free. You know, the Fulanis have been issuing threats. Get your PVC ready. Come 2027, we are going to kick Tinubu out. We are going to re-elect another Northerner. They are saying they are going to re-elect Atiku. I would rather have a Peter Obi over Atiku. I am not even a fan of Tinubu. But you know what I like about what is going on in Nigeria today? Is he has come out to demystify that political monopoly the Hausa-Fulani thinks they have. He has come out to divide that what? Political monopoly. The last time it was a deputy Senate president who was fighting an Indume in the Senate House. When he told Indume, I think you have lost your senses. When Indume was shouting, this tax bill must not pass. And this guy, I can't recall his name, this guy asked Indume, he said, Indume, have you read this thing? Indume said no. And then he said, how can you be so senseless? Are you just shouting for shouting purpose? You expect me to just support you because I'm a Northerner? That is it. Because he has seen that conflict between Indume and the deputy Senate president, you know, and he thinks he is not working for the interests of Nigeria, not knowing that he is doing what? The interest of Tinubu. Barao Jibrin is the guy's name. You know, Deputy Speaker Barao Jibrin, a man from Kano State. In fact, it got to a point, the Kano State indigenes hit the street. They started campaigning against Barao Jibrin. That you are now betraying the Hausa-Fulani pact. The Hausa-Fulani, which is more or less like a blood oath, that they will never betray themselves. But this man has come out, demystify that unity amongst themselves. The president is saying that I might not be able to divide these people by religion, but I might be able to divide them by ethnicity. He is now trying to elevate. You can see what happened in Kano State. Let me remind you. In Kano State is heavily divided between the Fulani and the Hausa. The king there, the Bayaro and the Sanusi, go and check their ethnic diversity. Go and check it out. So going back to the Southern Kaduna issue, Kaduna has an history of Northern Kaduna dominating them, most especially in the politics, most especially in infrastructural development, most especially in educational development, in almost everything. Kaduna North marginalizes Kaduna South. Kaduna South happens to have the larger land area in the whole of Kaduna. But when you go to Kaduna South, there's insecurity, there's more of poor people living there, there's low living standard, there's no electricity, there's no security, and all because they do not assimilate And they refuse to be conquered by the Fulanis. Now, the Fulanis who have conquered the Hausa successfully keep on selling that agenda that until the southern Fulanis, or the southern Kaduna rather, become a Christian majority, because most of the southern Kadunas are Christians. They have more churches. The wars that has always happened, the riot that has always happened in Kaduna has always been a religious war, wherein the northern Kadunas go there and provoke the southern Kadunas, who are Christians majority, and of course who are more, gentle. The northern Kaduna people go there, burn their churches. You can go and check the histories. I'm going to post some pictures. You're going to see it over and over in the last 10 years, even since 1990. Go and check the record. It was in southern Kaduna that they have the most beautiful girl. The northern Kaduna Alimanjirin chiefs and all their sheikhs and religious fanatics took it upon themselves, attacked southern Kaduna, and ever since there has always been that marginalization on a express lane, and they do not have a voice. Now Tinubu have seen that wow, this is the state of El-Rufai, one of that guy who has been criticizing me recently. But beyond that, Kaduna has a very large population. I can divide Kaduna. If I give them one or two things and development, come 2027, they will vote for me. And indeed, they will vote for him. In the comment section, I will be posting. Look at the replies. Look at the replies. Look at the replies. Look at it. He said, Bat will break up Arewa North. It might eventually also break off the Kanuri component of Arewa. The Hausa-Fulani hegemony might just come to an end. Now, he said, you can see the southern Kaduna people, they are now coming out saying that they are saying that the problem is that you all underrate the complexities of Nigerian politics. He knows he won't get it from the north, but the southern Kaduna people will eventually give him that vote. The threat from the northwest recently, another one, he said that the threat from the northwest is becoming too loud. So therefore, he is what? Pitching his tent towards the southern Kaduna people. I can categorically tell you that the whole of northern Kaduna will not vote for Tinubu come 2027 because of what Tinubu is doing to El-Rufai. He has been able to cut El-Rufai into that pieces of paper. But the southern Kadunas do not like El-Rufai, don't forget. Ubasani was able to win Kaduna because of the southern Kadunas. Southern Kaduna refinery has been said that it will start working. Another thing that Tinubu is doing to what? To break the what? He's doing everything to break the hegemony, the monopoly of what? Of these guys. Now, finally, he said, someone said that I was born and brought up in southern Kaduna, though I'm a Benue. So I have to say this. It is commendable what the president did. Because the northern Kadunas have always seen the whole of Kaduna as their own heritage. So you can see that this man who has perfected the strategy of ruling his people by what? Divide and conquer has started again. He said he would do what? Do everything to divide Nigeria. He is acting it. Do not follow what they say, follow what they do. And what is happening is Nigeria has never been divided than we have it currently today. A last testimony from a southern Kaduna man. He said, if you know what poor people face before securing admission, you won't say this. In southern Kaduna, in a year, citizens of southern Kaduna that gets admission into the Federal University of Kaduna today, when you compare it in percentage to northern Kaduna, is more like 80-20. So that discrimination, that marginalization, of course, is intentional because they want to ensure that the northern Kadunas continue to dominate the Christians and by extension continue to govern them, dictate how their life is. But Tinubu has seen that. And he's amplifying that division. He's even legalizing it, empowering the Southern Kaduna so that it can become more emboldened in return for his own vote. And at the end of the day, they remain divided, not united. And these are the strategies of this man. Unfortunately for Nigerians, if we are not careful, we cannot outgrow our ethnic and religious sentiment. This will continue to work for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If we Nigerians cannot outgrow our primordial biases, that we want to remain Yoruba first, Igbo first, or Christian first, some shameful, or let's say shameless Yoruba said they were Muslim first before Yoruba. He saw it and said, okay, let me give them Sharia. If we cannot outgrow those biases and say that we love our country first above anything, and Tinubu might even end up ruling us for 12 years, unfortunately. Do not forget to drop your vote. Bye for now.